Good day, subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Jeremy. This is the Financial Education Channel, and today we're doing my favorite video that I do every single month called 3 Stocks I'm Buying Now, where I share with you guys 3 stocks I'm buying and why I believe in those stocks. This is my favorite series for 2 reasons. One, because I love sharing with you guys what my favorite stocks are and that I'm buying currently, and 2, because you guys love these videos. This is by far the most popular series I do on the channel. Back-to-back months, this video got over 10,000 views. The November video, over 10,000 views. The October video, over 10,000 views. So you guys love it. I love to share it with you. And some of you guys have said, you know, why do you want to put your head on the line like that? Why do you want to share what stocks you're buying now? People will come on and make fun of you if your stocks do bad. I don't care about that. I care about that you guys get to see the process that I go through, and I care that you guys get to follow along with me and see how my stocks actually do. So let's go ahead and get into this, guys. First, we need to check and see how my stocks did during the last month. Now, if you remember right, my number 1 stock was GoPro. Number 2 stock was Apple. Number 3 stock was Wynn. So let's go ahead and look at these stocks here, guys. So GoBroke had another horrific month. It had a horrible month the month before, another awful month, down 28%. Absolutely pathetic performance once again out of GoBroke. Back-to-back months, it's just been so sad. Wynn had a pretty strong month. It was up over 7%, so Wynn did pretty good. And Apple was near break even. It was down just over 1%, so not much happened with Apple. So basically, we got to get into this, guys. Now, first, let's go ahead and work my way backwards. So first, we're going to talk about Apple, because Apple, I still like. It's my 3rd stock. I'm not as thrilled about Apple as I was previous month because they came out with new results for the last quarter. They came out with those a few weeks ago. And basically, I was not all that impressed. Let's look at those results they came out with. Apple today announced financial results for fiscal 2016 4th quarter ending September 24, 2016. The company posted quarterly revenue of $46.9 billion, net income of $9 billion or $1.67 per share. These results compare with revenue of $51.5 billion and net income of $11.1 billion in the previous year's quarter. So guys, Apple, you know, I'm just not as excited as I was before. Why am I still holding it? I'll get into a couple of those reasons, but mainly because it's a low PE company and because they do expect to get back to growth here. If we go down and we look at what they're expecting for the fiscal 2017 first quarter, which is the quarter we're in currently, I expect revenue of $76 to $78 billion, whereas last year they did around $76 billion. So they expect to get back to slight growth. Now, I'm not super psyched about Apple. I'm just not. It's the only reason it's my number 3 stock still is because I see nothing better out there. That's truly the biggest reason. I see nothing better out there that says, okay, I need to take my money from Apple and put it in another stock. I don't see anything better than Apple out there as far as my number 3 stock goes. And when you're trading at a PE of 13 and you have a dividend yield of 2%, you know, and you expect to get back to just barely slight growth, that is a reason why Apple is staying as my number 3 stock. Now, they made a really bad move in my opinion. The MacBook Pro came out, guys, and they eliminated ports that are so important for people like myself, photographers, videographers, a lot of creative people that do creative things that use Macs. Like me, people like me are the core customer of the Mac product line. When you drop things like SD slots, so you can put in an SD card, which is what I do for these videos every day, what I do for all my customers in the real estate industry. I use a memory card to stick into the actual computer. When you drop ports like that and now you have to buy a dongle and things, you turn off people like myself that are the core customer of Macs. So I see things like that and I'm like, Apple, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Sometimes innovation is great, but sometimes you make just really stupid moves. The move they made here with the new MacBook Pros, in my opinion, a really dumb move because it turns off people like myself that are the core customer of the MacBook whole lineup. You know, so it's very frustrating, and that's just another reason why I'm not as excited about Apple as I was in the previous video from the previous month. So we'll see what happens with Apple. It's my number 3 stock. Let's go ahead and get into number 2. Number 2, I'm very excited about. Wynn Resorts Wynn Palace is fully open now, and this will be the first quarter we'll get to see the full results of what is going on with Wynn Palace. The previous quarter they announced, last quarter, Wynn Palace was open for less than a month and a half for that quarter, and of course the build-up happens, the ramp-up, so it was hard to really judge how well this Wynn Palace is going to do. I believe fully that this is going to be the most profitable resort in the world. I really do. I feel super strong about that. Now, will it take 6 months to get there? Will it take a year to get there? Time will tell. They have, basically the issue they have with Wynn Palace, and this is what Steve Wynn and everybody on management, they talked about on the quarterly conference call, is all the properties that are surrounding Wynn Palace currently are all under construction, which makes it very hard to even have foot traffic into Wynn Palace, into the casino. So unless people are driving up and actually staying at Wynn Palace, it makes it very hard for people to actually get to Wynn Palace because all the sides right now are all under construction. They have hotels that other companies are building that are all under construction, so it's just a big construction zone around the property. Behind the property, they have the light rail system going in, so that's kind of going to hold back Wynn Palace a little bit in the very short term. But of course, I'm a long-term investor, and I just see huge opportunity for Wynn Palace, huge opportunity, no doubt. They also have construction going on at the Las Vegas properties. They have a new mall going in. They're renovating restaurants. They're renovating, coffee stands. A lot of things that I believe will modernize the Las Vegas properties, which will, the Las Vegas properties are already the best Las Vegas properties there are. They're just taking them to the next level, and I'm very happy that Wynn does that. They invest in the company. Next reason I'm very excited about Wynn is the monthly year-on-year growth rate of the GGR, so the gross gaming revenue, is expected to accelerate in November, according to many analysts. Estimates issued on Monday by the brokerage firm forecast that Macau's November GGR could expand between 14% and 15% year-on-year. This is huge, guys. And these numbers are actually going to come out literally within a couple hours of me posting this video, so I wish I could have held back a little bit so I could actually share the accurate numbers with you guys. But the fact that analysts are expecting 14 to 15% year-on-year growth is unbelievable. That is great growth. That's huge because Macau, we know for 2 years now, has been in declines and declines. So not only has it now flatlined, but to get back to growth is huge. So even if they're off, say it doesn't come in at 15%, say this number comes in at 10%, I still look at that as a great sign. Even if it came in at 5%, that's a fabulous sign. So we'll see what the actual numbers are in a few hours from now, literally, of me posting this video. But I'm expecting strong numbers, and if it's 15%, then that's fabulous. I'm a long-term investor in Wynn Resorts. I think it's great that Macau's getting back to growth because that's huge for Wynn. They get so much of their revenue from over there. 60, 70% of their profits come from the Macau region. So getting back to growth is huge for the entire company. Next up, we got to talk about Go Broke. Now, in order to talk about Go Broke, we got to talk about all the issues they had in the last few months. First off, the first major issue was they had some type of supply issue that held back units getting out there to retailers and whatnot for the month of October. And so that was a bad thing because that held back revenue in the last quarter, and that's going to hold back revenue a little bit in this quarter because basically they just didn't have the supply out there to get out there. They had decent demand. They did have good demand. That's something I did see in all my channel checks and those kinds of things, but they didn't get nearly enough units out there that they should have gotten out there to Amazon, to Best Buy, to everybody. So there was tons of outs everywhere for the month of October. They are at full production now. Most retailers I've checked all have inventory of GoPros, and that's a fabulous sign. Even Black Friday, they did have some outs. A lot of places, Target stores specifically, ran out of GoPros, mainly because they were doing deals on GoPros. You get a $60 gift card if you get the new model, something like that. But I see that they're getting their back restocked, so I'm happy that GoPro is at full production now, but still, they screwed up. That's the bottom line. They screwed up in the month of October getting those GoPros out there. Next major issue we had, and it's a huge one, GoPro issued a recall for its batch of new Karma drones due to the gadget's tendency to lose power in the air. This was the biggest reason why GoPro stock went down 28% in the month, because this news came out which killed optimism about huge revenue growth for the company. I was expecting monster revenue growth for the company, and now and we'll go through the numbers here in just a minute, now I'm just expecting small growth because the Karma was going to be huge. Even if it sold 250,000 units in the quarter. That's a ton of revenue when you're talking about $1,000 product, $1,000 product. Plus, that just brings more people into the whole lineup, selling in the Christmas quarter. This was going to be huge, guys. And to now have the issue, and it's still not even out there. It's still not out there. Tomorrow's going to be December 1st. The Karma unit still is not available. It's frustrating, guys. So that's a big issue. And then Karma Grip, which is another product I think could be extremely successful in this Christmas quarter, they still don't even have that one out there. And why the Karma Grip is not out there is beyond me. It's like, what the f are you doing, Go Broke? Why is the Karma Grip? That had no issues. That didn't have any power issues. Get that unit out there. People want that unit. People are demanding that unit. I see it on the channel and whatnot, the Go Broke channel. People commanding for that product. I think they could sell quite a few units of this, guys, but it's not even out there yet. So it's very frustrating. And so we got to talk about all these issues with Go Broke before we can even talk about the positives and why it's still my #1 stock despite all these issues. A lot of issues have just happened, and management has me very frustrated. Management has me just very frustrated. I sent Nick Woodman a letter, personalized. We'll see if he even read it. Who knows? He might not even have read the letter, but I did send him a very specific letter calling out all these issues and demanding, an answer from him. I sent it yesterday. I haven't got a response. I might not even get a response. We'll see, but very frustrated with the management team over at Go Broke. So, numbers I'm actually expecting now. I'm still sticking with my 3 million camera unit number. We're looking at the middle numbers there. Let's say Jeremy's new numbers. Analysts are expecting 675 million in revenue. I'm expecting 686. I'm expecting 0 Karma units come out. Maybe they get it out before Christmas comes. I don't know. Who knows? I'm not banking on that, so that's why I have 0 in there for Karma units. And that's why my revenue went from over 800 million to now only 686 million. So camera units, how do I get a 3 million unit camera number? Because 2 years ago, last time they had a flagship launch, they did 2.4 million units in camera units. I expect to have decent growth. I'll be honest with you guys. They have a better product now. They're in way more countries than they were 2 years ago. They're way more known than they were 2 years ago. They have more product lines at different price points than they did 2 years ago, which is why I expect, decent growth, 25% unit growth versus what they did 2 years ago. That's how I get my 3 million unit camera number. Sticking with my 2.7 million on accessories, that's going to bring in about 54 million. Stabilizer, I think they're going to be able to get that out before Christmas comes. If not, then that number could go down to 0 as well. Not a huge number there because 8.4 million is all I had in there, them doing for numbers for this quarter. VR units, I have them doing 6,000 VR units. That's $24 million in revenue. So basically, I'm right in line now with what analysts were expecting before this. I think they had a huge opportunity that they dropped the ball on here, guys, as far as this Christmas quarter goes. They could have knocked the ball out of the park, just totally changed the whole mindset around Go Broke. It could have been from, that was a declining business model, so now they're experiencing huge growth. Now, even if they come in at my numbers and analyst numbers, 675, 686 million, that will still be huge growth year over year because the previous year they did a little over 400 million in revenue. So still could be expecting huge revenue growth, and that will kind of change, I believe, the mindset on people that aren't invested in Go Broke currently, or people that are invested and maybe are looking to invest more from, okay, this is a declining business model to, you know what? Maybe Go Broke's back to growth. Maybe it can get the name GoPro back, and I'll stop calling it Go Broke. But until I see growth come back to the company, I'm calling it Go Broke because 2 horrific months in a row. Now, today, I think a good move got made. It's a hard move to make, but it's a good move in my opinion. The company's chief financial officer, Brian McGee, said in a webcast that GoPro would reduce its workforce by about 15% or around 200 full-time positions and cut back on the use of contractors. It will eliminate the entertainment unit. I think this is huge, guys, because the fact that GoPro wasn't expecting to be even profitable in 2017 is beyond me. I see them doing more than $2 billion in revenue. $2 billion, and you're telling me you can't be profitable? $2 billion and you can't be profitable? Are you flipping my flapjacks? Give me a break. That's like all the money in the world, and they get great margins on the cameras. They get great margins on that. They get great margins on the accessories. So the money's just basically going to employees and all these types of things. 200 positions, that's a lot of positions to eliminate the use of contractors. That will help as well, eliminating the entertainment unit. I think these are great moves as far as focusing the company, making it smaller. You know, they've screwed up a lot of the product launches, and I wonder, is the company simply have too many employees that are kind of passing the buck around? Sometimes a smaller company can be more focused and you can get things right. So I look at this move and I see it being a good thing because I believe it will help out profitability, and I believe it will just help out the company as a whole, maybe make better decisions as a smaller unit versus a unit, a company that doesn't need that many employees. And you got to think, if they're just paying people 100, let's say the average employee is making 100K. You know, some are probably making less than that, some are probably making more. Let's say the average employee 100K. Cutting 200 positions times 100K, that's a lot of savings. Then you got to add in that GoPro probably helps pay healthcare and everything like that for those employees. So huge move in my opinion. I think it's a good move. You know, I hate to see employees cut back, but at the same time, they need it. They absolutely need it. They absolutely need it. When you're making $1 billion, $2 billion in revenue, and you can't find a way to be profitable, you got too many freaking employees, or you're not making the margins you should be on your products, which GoPro does make the margins they should be on the products. It's just they have way too many employees. They're paying way too many salaries. So good move by them. We'll see how all this turns out as time goes on, guys. I'm excited. I'm excited mainly for GoPro in the future. You know, I'm a long-term investor, so, you know, next couple months, who knows? It could still be rough. It could turn around. We'll see what happens. I'm excited about GoPro. I'm super excited about Win still. Apple, I'm not as excited about, like I told you guys. It's just, we'll see what happens. They're my third stock, so third stocks aren't quite as important. Thank you so much for watching today, guys. And until next month, you know, I hope all you guys out there that are investing, you have a fabulous month. You know, it's a month of December. Generally, the markets trend well in December. It's just a Santa Claus period. So hopefully everybody does good. If you're watching this video and you have not subscribed yet, you may want to. I talk about personal finance on the channel. I talk about entrepreneurship. I'm an entrepreneur. I give entrepreneur tips almost every single week. And we talk about the stock market the most in this channel, including doing this series every single month. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a great day.